Okay, so I said that create part based on the generic form I will take after a few weeks once you will become more expert in the React. So let's create another component. I will name it as add.jsx. So let's work in this add component. Okay, so I will write down the step. So what we are building some a simple. Okay, I'll write down the steps. Step number. What is the step number? 12. Okay, to create add page. Okay, so here what are the tasks I have to do? I have to create a form, simple form with two fields. One will be the title and another will be description. Then I will create a function called as handle change, and when someone will change the title or description, I will update the state variable. Okay, third will be okay. So let's make this as a third variable, third number, and two number will be creating a state variable which will hold data whenever user changes fields. Okay, there will be handle submit button. This will be called when someone submits the form and data will be saved in the database. Okay, so these four steps I will do one time, and we will create multiple add pages. Second time you have to do yourself. Third time also you have to do yourself. So first time I will show you how I do and how it has to be done, and then after that you have to do few more forms. So let's do this here. So what is the first step? Creating a simple form with two fields. Okay, so let me create. Okay, so we will be using material UI. So I will just put some base structure of the material UI so that I can work on that one. So one of the thing which I want to put, so that some kind of skeleton, I will put something called as container. So in the container, I will take this part. So let's take these three import statements, and then I will take this part. Okay, I don't need the BG color right now, or I'll keep it for some time to show you, and then I will remove it. And if I see I have here SM, that is a small, but I don't need small. So I will see what are the other fields here. So instead of small, I can also say extra large, XL. I will put this in the routing also. Okay, so let's go to add page. Okay, right now you will see the blue background because I put here the BG color. I will remove this BG color. I don't need it. So right now there is complete white because we haven't put anything. If I want to put anything, I will close this as a tag, HTML tag, like box. Then I can put inside anything. I can put anything here. Okay, so here I will put something called as, first I will create some title, maybe add record. So I can see the add record. And then I will create the form tag. Okay, form tag will be, here I will put all the fields. So what are the fields I have to put? One is a text field. So I'll just grab the text field. You just observe it and then you have to do it afterwards. This is the text field. So I'll take some basic one. Something basic one. This one is fine. So I'll grab the text field here. Okay, I will explain you what is the fragment. It's a text field, and then I'll take one of the text field which I want to display. Which one I should take? This one. Okay, this one. So in the form, I'll put first text field. Let's see how it looks. Okay, I don't like this spelled one. Okay, yeah, this is fine. And I can add the full width. If I add the full width, it will take the whole width. See, it is taking the whole width. I can change this to medium and then it will be a little bit smaller, or I can make it small. It is small. Yeah, this looks okay. Okay. So what name I should put? I don't need the ID. I need the label. The label will be, I will say title. I need a name also. Name will be title, small t. And the default value I'll remove it. I'll put value equal to something, which I will put it soon. Okay, so this is the title. Right now I'm not able to put it because I haven't created the state variable. Similarly, I will create the description. I will copy this again and I'll just say multi-line. And then I'll also say row, how many rows I want. So maybe I can say 5 rows. And this will be title, label will be description, name will be description. Okay, let's see how it looks. Okay, multi-line. I put 4 multi-line, but it's not showing. Maybe I'll say multi-line equal to 2. Okay, not working. Let's check it here. Okay, so this is the multi-line. I need something this one. I put rows, I put multi-line. Okay, rows. I have to put rows. Now it's this one. If you see there is no space between title and description, I need that space. So let's wrap each one in a div tag so that I can give some styling to the div tag. Same way, this one also I will wrap inside the div tag, and then here I will give some styling. Styling will be margin top equal to 25 pixel. Okay, so we have the space now between title and description. Let's add the button also for the submission. So I'll go to the button. I need the center one. I like this one. So just copy the center one. That I'll put div, and I put the button. I need to import the button, so I'll just import the button. Okay, so that's all. Now let's see. Also there is no space, so I need to give the spacing also for this. I can create a generic style and put the class name, but for now I'm just giving hard-coded style value. And this button also I'll make it full width. Okay, and I'll change the name to submit. Okay, so this looks good. Title, description, and submit. So before we go further, I want you to write down. So now I'll explain you what is the React.fragment. So if I inspect here, you will see this is the container. Okay, so this is the container. Okay, so if I put something here, for example, if I put p tag generic, I'm just showing you p tag. Let's put the p tag. So you will see inside the p tag we have everything. So div tag is given by something by default. By some of the CSS we have not written, but it is I'm using some material UI code, so maybe somewhere it is writing. Okay, not writing here. Maybe in the Myra. Yeah, it's the div tag which we have. I will give the ID so that you may know. Okay, so this div tag is my routing, and then p tag stats. So sometimes we don't need this any tag, I mean, not p, not div tag. So to skip this tag, we generally give react.fragment. React.fragment means don't put any tag. But if I remove this tag and this tag, then here we have one tag container and one is the CSS baseline. You cannot have two tags in the React. In the React world, you should have only one root tag. So we need div tag or p tag, and if we don't have any tag, we can put the fragment. Fragment means don't take any tag, don't put any tag in the rendering HTML. So after div my routing, directly we start with the container. Instead of writing react.fragment, we can also empty it. Then also it will work. So if I empty it, then also it's a fragment only. Okay, so I built this form. I will give you 5 minutes to build this form. Okay, just you can copy the things from here, or I will help you. I will give this code in the Telegram chat. You can copy from there. Okay, I put it in the Telegram chat. You can copy from there. Let me. Those who want to copy by looking, I will make another screen so you can copy it. So this is the add part, and here. So half of this is here, half of this is here. You can get it from the React Telegram group. And I will give you 5 minutes to finish this add form page. And once we are done with the form page, we will start writing code. Okay, so I hope everyone completed this. Otherwise, go to the Telegram group and get it. Now I have to tie this text field to a state variable so that when user will change it, I should be able to grab the content of it. So we need to create the state variable. So let's create the state variable. I will name it as state and the set state. You can name it anything. I'm just putting some name. I'll put react dot use state. Initially, it will have the empty object, and then we'll make it more appropriate. Now in this object, I will put two fields, title with empty and the description with empty string. And I want to tie this title here in this text field. How will I do it? What should I write down in the value field?
State dot title, state dot description next to.
Right. State dot title here, and in this one, I will write down value equal to state dot description, because that is where it will be saved, and when we render it again, we will take it from here only. Here I am not getting any warning, but here I am getting it. Okay, value is already there, so it needs only one value. So what I created the state variable and I put the value as the state variable. Now next step is we created the state variable. Next is we need to create handle change. Okay, so let's create the handle change function. So let's consider the handle change will get the two things. One is called the name and value. And once I get the name and value, I will update the state. Okay, so how to get the name and value? So whenever we have the on change event here, we get E or event here in this on change of the text field. And if I want to see exact value, I will go to event.target.value. So now if I go here, when I try to change something, you will see I'm getting the updated value here in the console. That means whatever user is putting in the text field, we are getting it with this event.target.value. So instead of this console, I'll delete the console, and now I will call this handle change function. I will say handle change and name. What name I want to pass? I want to pass this name, title. So let's hard code it title. And what is the value I want to pass? I want to pass the value event.target.value. Instead of putting the title, I could have also said event.target.name. But don't make it confusing now. Let's put the name as a title here forcefully. Same thing I will do with the description. Instead of title, I will say description. Okay. So I put on change here and I'm calling the handle change function. Here also I'm calling handle change with the name and the value. So we are getting name and value here. Now once we get the name and value, we have to update the state. We have to update the title with the appropriate value. We have to update the description with the appropriate value. Here I will do just console.log or state is state. Now how to update it? I will call the set state function and here I will get arrow function. In the arrow function, we'll get one parameter called as st. This st is nothing but this object. Whatever is the new value of this object, we will get here in the st. And what we will do, I will return an object with dot 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 st. So we have to take the previous value of the st by using this statement. And then we have to take the updated value, that is name and the value. Is it right to put like this name as value? Is it right to put name value like this? So Anand is saying no. What about others? So it is not the right way to put name and value here, because name, if I put like this, another property will be created like name and some value. Since this name is dynamic, first time we are passing title, second time we are passing description. Since name is dynamic, we need to wrap it in an square brackets. So I put it in the rectangular brackets, name and the value. So what will happen when I pass the title? Title will become whatever value user has put. Whenever I put description, so description equal to whatever value I have put. So this completes our on change handle change function, which is mentioned here. Now remember, I'm checking the state. Let's check the state and see whether it's updating properly or not. So I'll refresh it. Now I'll put the title. So I'm putting title and state is going, title is my title, and description whatever user will put will come in the description one. So that means it is working fine and I'm able to save it in the state variable also. Why I have to save in the state variable? So that when I submit the form, I will get the data from the state variable. Okay, that is why I save it in some variable, that is called state variable. Now before I go further, just write on this part first and then attach this part here and this part. I'll give you 2 minutes to finish this one. Okay, so I hope you have completed it. If not, I will give you more time later because I need to finish this add part now today. Now we will be adding this part in the part server. So let's start the part server here. Node index.js. Now our form is completed. We have the text field. We have the onChange function. Now we have to write the onSubmit one. So whenever user will submit the form, I should submit this form to the database. Okay. So here in the form, I will say onSubmit, and I will call one function called as handle submit. I'll create another function here. I'll call the handle submit here, and here we will pass the event. If I don't do anything here in the handle submit, what will happen when the user will submit the form? The page will refresh because the form's default behavior is to refresh the page. So we don't want to refresh the page, so we have to prevent that functionality. So I will write down event.prevent default. B is capital. So when I say event.prevent default, that means when form is submitted, it will not refresh the page. We will be inside this function only. Okay, so this one, what I'm doing, I am submitting the form. Let's see if I'm reaching here in the submit form. So when I click submit button, it's not going to that handle submit. Can anyone tell me why? I
So
created
button
this
type
handle
should be
submit
submit.
button type. So here we have just put the button without giving the type. So right now it is acting as a normal button, not the submit button. So we need to put the type of the button as submit so that it should submit the form. So let's see now when I submit what happened. So you will see I am in the console submitting, which I have written in the handle submit form here. Now I have to submit this data, this one and this one, in the parse database. It's the MongoDB, but parse is the server in front of it. So let's put the data there in the parse server. So to put the data in the parse server, first statement is we need to import the parse. So I will write down here import parse from parse. So we imported the parse module in our page. Now what we have to do, we have to write down the statement to submit the form. So let me show you the document. If I go here, database, I think I'm at wrong place. Okay, we have to go to the objects, and in the saving objects, there is a saving object. So this is the one way to save the object. So we'll copy this and we'll then change the parameters, whatever we want. So when I submit the data, I will call the syntax which I just now showed you. So first statement is we have to create a variable with a table name. So what table name we want to put? For example, I want to put test1. So I'll put here test1. Let's change the variable name to test1. This is the first line of statement. Then I create another variable with the new test one. It is game score. I will rename it to test one. And here I will create a small letter test one. Here it is a capital letter. We have to call this one, and then we have to small letter this one. Now this small letter one, or we can name it as post. Table name is test one. I'll rename it as post. And here I'll rename small post. Small p, capital P. Small p, capital P. Capital P, we call this object here. Now I'll say post dot set. What I want to set, one is title. Title is value of title is in the state, and it is state dot title. Next one I will say post dot set. Post dot set description. So I will copy the description here, and the value is in the state. Okay, I don't need this one. And then I'll call the post dot save. Once I save, it is a promise. So I need to put then and catch. In the then block, I will see what is saved here. So I'll just write down what is coming back. Coming back will come here. Sorry. This will not go here. This will go in the then block. So in the then block, I will put the data and I'll do the console.log. And same thing I'll do in the catch block, but here I'll pass error. Okay, so let's see what happened now when I save it. Here I'll say submitting. And once I submit it, I will say submitted successfully. And once I get error, I will say error. And here I'll say error.message to see exactly what message we have. Okay, so I will run this and see how it is going. Okay, so this is title. Okay, so I'll say title here, and here is the description. So now see what happens when I submit it. So it's saying submitting, and data is there, submitted successfully. Here in the data, I will see in the attributes, I will see description is there, title is there. Created at is created by the pass server, so we don't need to worry about this. So these two fields I have created, rest all are created by the pass server. Now let's try to go into the pass server and see what is created there. So you will see test one is created, and I can see title and description fields are there, and it is created on this date, and this is the object ID which is created by default by the pass server. So this is how we submit it. So once submitted it, we need to empty this one so that I can submit it again. So let's empty this one. So after submission, I will say set state equal to title also empty and description also empty. So once I submit it, I will empty the title and description so that user can add more. Okay, let's do it now. I'll submit it. Now it got empty. And here I will see another record. See, I see another record here. Okay, so do this up till here and then we'll move further. So what you have to do, add the form on handle submit here, make the button type submit, and then write down this handle submit function. Let me know when it's done. Okay, so I hope you have completed this part. So we will do some more modification to this addition part. So one of the thing is that I want the user who is logged in, I want that user who is logged in should be saved in the database. So one thing I want to do that thing, that user who is logged in, I should save his uh, that user. So to get the current user who is logged in, there is a special function in parse server that is called the parse.user.current. So this will tell me who is the current user. So I will add one more part called as post.set, and I'll say user, and the value of this will be this one, parse.user.current. So we added one more field called as the user with parse.user.current. Okay. So let's see now user is working or not. So to see exactly whether user is logged in or not, I will just see here console.log in the add to see if I'm getting user details or not. If I'm not getting it, I'll log in it and I'll try to add it again. So I'll refresh it. So here I'm getting, okay, some prop is an invalid component applied to route prop, not valid key component. Okay, some error is there. I will try to see what is that error, but at least I see the past user and I'm getting the user who is logged in. Okay, so we need to use this user to save the details. So what I added, I know now it is working. Now here I will post the user as the one field will be the user. So let's try to do it again. Okay, so something is failing in the my routing. Invalid component applied to the route. Just checking which one is wrong. I'm not getting here. If I remove this add part, still I'm getting it. Okay. The problem is with the create one because I commented the whole create part. So let me uncomment it and then I'll delete this part right now. I don't need this part. I'll delete this part. Okay, let's delete this part. Okay, now I'm not getting any error. Okay, so now we will test the user condition again and I'll submit it. Submitted successfully. Let's check it here. So you will see one user field is added in the table which points to the user who is logged in. And if I click here, I see who is the user who created this record. This is the user who created this record. So we added the user field here. Okay, one more thing I want to do, last thing which I have to do here is the ACL. So generally right now, if you see, we have the ACL part. Now it is public read and write. We can change it to who can read, who can write. A lot of things are there in the ACL. It's a very big thing, but right now I'll just put a simple basic structure and then later on I will modify it to more complex thing. So to put the ACL, I will create one variable called as ACL and with the new parse.acl. Okay, this is the syntax. And then I'll say ACL dot set public read access. I will give public read access to true. That means everyone can read it. And I will also say ACL dot set public write access. That means anyone can write or delete my record. Right now it's a public one. I don't want to complicate this thing now. Just I put public, both the public. And I have to attach this post to this ACL. So let's attach to this post. So I'll say post dot set ACL, and I will give the ACL. So I'll say post, this is the post dot set ACL, and I pass this ACL. Okay, so generally by default it is same, public read and write. So how will you know the difference? So to know the difference, I will make the write access to false. That means no one can edit it. Once it is written, everyone can read it. Okay, so let's go and check what ACL. Right now, if you see, it's saying both read write. So I'll refresh it. I'll add something. Now I refresh it here. Now you will see public is read, but write is off. No one can write it because I give the write access false. I'll again change it to true. That means everyone can write it. So just add these 4 lines of statement, and then we are done for today. I'll give you 1 minute. Okay, is it done? Okay, so that's all for today. We added the add page today. Complete add page is there. Tomorrow we will go with the edit page and delete part and the view part. And then we will build a lot of projects based on these 4 things. Okay, so what we completed today, add.jsx. Tomorrow we'll go with edit and delete. And if we get time, we'll do tomorrow view also. And after that, we will make a lot of projects based on these 4 things, whatever we did it. Okay, let me copy the add page here. Okay, let me take this. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you. See you tomorrow.